Howdy, guys. Hi, Dad.
Hello, guys. Here we are.
You can't say what I said.
In the garage.
You got to say something completely different.
Well, hello, guys. You said howdy.
Okay.
Or did you say it? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I give up.
Yeah. Well, it's December 30th, 2018. So I guess you can consider this our Happy New Year's present.
Hello. Happy New Year.
What the hell, Dad?
You want me to dance a jig or what?
Can you do it? Can you dance a jig?
No, I'll save that for New Year's Eve.
Okay. What we're going to do is we got 3 pages of questions from you guys, and I promised you we'd do a Q&A, and we think of this little end table I made for Dad. Hemi tunnel ram, couple dominators. Perfect for holding your tea glass. Of course, my tea glass on the floor.
It's not a big hole there.
It's a pretty big hole. But we're going to answer your questions. And I think I'm well enough for being sick. We're going to do this. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the road. Joe W. I like you, Joe.
Joe W.
Yes. What do you plan on doing with the yard dart when you complete it?
Well, there you go.
Well, I guess that's my question. Yard dart? I'm going to drive it. I'm going to enjoy it.
Are you gonna race it?
I don't know, probably not.
We're gonna put a roll cage in that one?
No. We're just gonna build it. We're gonna get this 273, which I conveniently placed right here in the background. It's just mocked up, but we're just gonna put that in there. We're gonna enjoy the car. We're gonna beat the crap out of it because we don't care about it like we do like Jezebel and Dad's car. We're just gonna tear the crap out of it.
About all that. That sounds expensive.
Yeah, we probably tear the crap out of it. We'll probably build it, drive it for a couple of videos, and park it in the back with the rest of them. And then keep saying, oh, we're going to do something with it, and then never do.
It ought to be a pretty good little engine.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun little toy once we get her done.
It'll be automatic?
Yeah, it'll be an automatic, unfortunately, but 4-speed conversion for an only A-bike. I mean, I got the pedals, but I ain't got no 4-speed. And they take a special bell housing.
Right. We can put a shift kit in that.
Yeah, we'll just build that automatic and whatnot. So I guess, I hope that answers your question, Joe. I think you got another one in here anyways. Thomas Horton, including this one's for you.
Uh-oh.
Including bodywork, paint, crate motor, around what ballpark has your dad invested in his Charger? Has the conversion mounts had any fitment issues with the exhaust? I have a 70 RT Charger, very cool, that I want to do a similar build to happen. I live in Salina, Kansas, so I probably have the same resource options as you.
What's his name?
Thomas Horton.
Thomas. It's been kind of expensive, but it depends on what you want to do with it and if you're going to try to keep it. I got about, I don't know, 13,000 in my Hemi. With new heads and the short block I got up out of Alabama.
Yeah, it came from Alabama.
Yeah, it was $5,000 for the short block and rotating assembly. And then the valve train and everything. If you're going to build a Hemi, you just get your checkbook out. I found that out. The paint, we had a good friend that owns a paint and body shop.
You can't say the price though.
All right. Well, the car was solid. I mean, bought us a good solid car to begin with. Had a little bit of rust behind the tires. It wasn't bad. Could have been fixed. Decided I didn't want to live with any Bondo in my car, so we put 2 quarter panels in the back, so it's all steel car, and that gave him a good foundation to put a decent paint job on it. Bought that paint from, was that PPI or whatever?
PPG.
Was it PPG?
I think so.
No, it's where you get your touch-up paint at.
Oh,
Professional finish.
that was from, oh damn, I forgot. It was about $1,000 just for your paint.
Paint was like $1,000.
And that was single stage, not base coat, clear coat.
But it was acrylic enamel.
Yeah.
And then the vinyl top, that was another gig. And then the headliner, another gig. And the windshield and all the glass. It's just an ongoing project and it ain't done yet.
That's the problem. If you want to make your car like Dad's, you're just going to continuously buy and buy and buy and buy because you put shiny paint on it, well then all of a sudden your secondhand interior ain't good enough. So you try and refinish it, make it look nice, and That's the rabbit hole you get down when you want to make a car nice. And then you have to worry about every single dent, scrape, scratch.
Oh yeah. Every time I scratch that thing, it just kills me.
They're not saying every car needs to be left ratty and ugly. I mean, there's one thing to make a car nice, but you don't want to make it too nice.
When you got that kind of money in painting it.
Yeah, especially. I'd say you probably got about 30-ish thousand in there.
Probably. With tires and exhaust and new gas tank, new brake lines, new brakes. I mean, it's just on and on. There's stuff you don't even think about. The heater motor, the heater box was missing. You know, the dash pieces, Jed sourced them out. I mean, it just all adds up. Luckily, all my windows were still in there. On Jezebel, we had a lot of money just getting the windows rolling up. The little rollers are $20 a piece. You know, it's crazy.
It adds up, and I will say this: unless you just absolutely have to have a Hemi, which good luck finding a block. There are no blocks out there you can just source. Like, you can get on some of their jigs and they'll say they got blocks available, but they don't. So unless you really want a Hemi and you're willing to spew out big money for a block, because the hardest things to get is a block and a rocker arm assembly. Those alone, you'll be set back easy. A block will probably cost you about $6,000 in this market because they are so hard to get. And rocker arms, they were about $1,500 when we bought Dad's set. Now you can't even get them, so I'm seeing rocker arms selling for $2,500 to almost $3,000 just for rocker arm assemblies. So unless you just are dying to have a Hemi, I'm going to tell you this: the Hemi is only cool for the look, because you're not going to beat on it. Because once you start building it and you realize how much money you have in it, you're not going to want to drag race it. You're not going to want to do a burnout because you're going to be scared to break something.
Right.
So
unless you got a pile of money.
I highly recommend getting a 383 or a 440 and just stroking it. Build a stroker wedge.
Yeah.
Cheaper, make more horsepower. It doesn't look as cool under the hood, but you'll be able to beat on it and you won't have to worry about it. You have $10,000 in a motor versus $20,000, what you're going to probably have in one if you try to build a Hemi.
You can buy them crate motors, but are they available or are they just in the magazine?
The crate Hemis? No. Unless, well, you might be able to get like an Indy aluminum block or something, but it's still going to be a lot of money. And nobody's going to want to spend that.
Right.
Well, you're in Salina, which is where our machine shop is, Advanced Engine Machine, so I might have to stop by and visit you sometime. Love to get in touch with you. To answer your question on motor mount issues, no, they fit perfectly. No clearance issues at all with the headers. But I hope that answers your question, Thomas, because we got to move on. This is going to be a long video. Chris Graves, when are you two going to get started or just get to the 49 GMC? I'm really interested in that one.
I was out walking around her, it's still in the back of my mind. I get my old Charger where I'm finally done with it, and I'll bring the old 49er back up on the pad. I got it, it's running. I mean, it's got a 401 nail head in it. 425, I don't know, 41, 425.
We never
made that decision.
We never did figure out which one it is, so let's keep hoping price.
But it does have a switch pitch transmission. I'm going to look into making that work again.
That's a really cool transmission.
I'm probably going to do something with the rear end, 4-link it or something, because I don't really like the way my rear end's. It's out of square right now, and I ain't going to live with that. I ain't going to have a dog tracking down the highway. I don't know. I just got to get started on it. I got the brakes. I got to get them put on. New master cylinder and stuff. What, my cigarette bothering you?
A little bit. My sinuses are so perfectly cleared up. Normally that wouldn't bother me, but...
I get one more dragging them out.
Don't worry, there's a gas jug right there. There's some gear oil.
Yeah, fine.
Just throw it in the gas.
Alright.
Yeah, Chris, we're going to get started at 49. It does run and drive.
It's got a lot of history with this family, so it'll never leave.
Yeah, it's never leaving the family.
I bought that thing in 87, 86, 87. Sat on the fence row for 10 years. It ain't gonna kill it to sit out there. It's got brand new tires on it, never hit the road, and they'll be probably dry rot by the time I get going again. But
that truck could still be on the fence row had I not talked you to bring it home.
Yeah, it'd probably be rotted down.
Step grandpa had it using it as part of a fence.
Yeah.
He had baling wire strapped around it, holding his fence up.
Yeah, that was a little spooky.
Yeah, the truck got all beat up out there. Anyways, so sooner than later, but not tomorrow. You know, it'll happen someday. I might be in my 40s by the time we get to it, but we'll get to it someday.
I look out the kitchen window every day and I look right at it. It's staring me in the face, so it ain't gonna go away.
Excuse me. All right. Moving on.
Yeah, I reckon. Is that all you had?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stephen Langley. His name's not familiar. All right. Hey, I wanted to get your thought. I'm looking at getting a 1977 Chrysler Newport with a 400 in it. Body is solid but needs some work. I'm really wondering what you think of the 400. Well, let's just stop right there. 400 is a real strong engine. Its biggest downside is the low compression. Anything below 9.5 to 1, not worth your time. Now it's starting to get cold. But basically, the only thing you really need to do to a 400, get some good pistons in it, pump the compression ratio up, put a good cam in it, and you'll love that thing. Of course, intake, headers, that other stuff. But if you really want to get your money out of your 400, stroke it.
Stroke it.
Stroker is just the cheapest, easiest way to make an engine something you love.
It's already got the biggest bore, right?
Yeah, it's already got a 340 bore.
So it's not very hard to make it radical like the Satellite.
Yeah, the Satellite, it had a 400, and now it's got a 440 crankshaft that's been turned down, 440 connecting rod, and a Keith Black hyperkinetic stroker piston. Piston's about that tall, and that thing revs to 7,500 RPM like that, super easy, crisp. I don't know what it makes your horsepower. Maybe it makes 400, 450, something in that range. But you'd be amazed what 300 or even 400 horsepower really feels like. Everybody thinks they need 600 or 700 horsepower in the street. Like me, like with Jezebel, that's just because the car looks radical. It needs something to be radical. But you'd be amazed what 300 horsepower really feels like in a car.
Right.
And as far as that's concerned, dude, 400's a damn good engine to start with. And don't worry about cast crank, steel crank stuff. If you're not going over 600 horsepower, rock that cast crankshaft. So anyways, I don't know a whole lot except about it. It basically took over for the 383 that you don't think. I should have read the whole question. Body is solid, needs some work. I'm really wondering what you think of the 400. I don't know a whole lot except it's basically took over for the 383. Okay, yeah. And that, do you think $1,600 is too much for the car like this? Any help would be great. Appreciate it. For a 77 Newport, I'm not sure what that car looks like.
You gonna keep it a Newport, or you just using that for a donor car?
I'm thinking he wants to build the Newport.
The Newport's like a family car, isn't it?
If it's a 2-door hardtop, build that thing. Make a badass sleeper, in my opinion. That'd be pretty neat. I mean, Cordova's dead. Even nowadays, Cordovas are.
You lower that baby down and get it on the ground. I bet it'd be cool.
Oh yeah, you could make a lead sled out of it probably. I don't even know what a Cordova or a Newport really looks like from '77. I think we need to pause the video. We're back. I had to look that up. Dad knew exactly what it was. I had to see it. That's a big car. That's a lot of car for the money. For $1,600, if it's in pretty good shape, that'd make a nice luxury cruiser. That would not be a hot rod in my mind. That would be a car, you know, maybe do a couple of modifications to the engine, but keep it stock, smooth. Just drive it and enjoy it, man. My personal opinion.
I think it'd be cool to put it on the ground, put some 20s on it. It'd be a sled. It'd be cool, though.
20s?
It'd be like a land yacht.
This is why you don't get to be on the camera. Don't put 20s on it, dude. Keep it old school. I'm not saying put Dayton wire wheels on it, but damn. Keep it. Dang, damn. What the hell? 20s?
You gotta embrace the whole thing.
You want to put a zebra interior in it too? What,
Yeah.
tassels?
No, I'm thinking real furry, you know,
Like mauve hair?
white shag about that long.
I'm thinking like, you remember in RoboCop, the pimp?
Yeah, just
The
like
pimp
that.
mobile, yeah.
Put some neon lights in there.
Yeah, RoboCop sitting there driving down the boulevard in the
Yeah.
pimp mobile.
Now you're talking.
So, now you know what to do with but a pimp mobile.
Child of the 60s.
Oh, God. All right, moving on. Jeez. Doug, I'm not even going to try and pronounce your last name. You know Doug. Came here to visit.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, Doug, yeah. Doug Rohr? Yeah. Doug, you got to change your last name. What's the channel goals? Well, it's my channel technically. You're just a co-host.
Get after it.
Whole purpose of this channel is just to save memories between Dad and I and our family, everything we build. You know, growing up, we have home movies and stuff, and that seems to be a thing of the past. Nobody takes home movies anymore, and hell, people barely even take pictures. And I think it's cool to be able to watch. I can go back in my video feed and watch a video from 5 years ago, and see how I looked and how I acted then versus now. And I figure someday when I'm Dad's age and I might have kids, I can back, get over here, you damn whippersnappers, and see how cool I was. See how cool your granddad was before he was in a diaper.
Yeah, I got one little 30-second clip on home movies of my charger.
Yeah.
And I got like 2 Polaroids left of my charger. That's about it. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to save all these for the youngins.
Yeah, and I mean this stuff, it's going online. It should be there forever. And you know, someday, unfortunately, you won't be here, Dad,
Mm-hmm.
which we don't want to think about, but we can always come back. And like this video right here, it's just us interacting and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the main channel goals, get to like 40 billion subscribers, be able to live, you know, off of your guys' revenue you generate for me, and I can just sit here instead of sitting in my stool made out of tape and been welded together because I'm too piss poor broke to go buy a new stool, but I'll go buy a TIG welder for $600 off Facebook Marketplace. But that way I can sit here with my lazy boy and we can have like a couple Asian chicks in here grooming our feet while we're sitting here doing this in the future. We'll have a camera crew and everything, and be like, all right, I'm done. I'll be in my trailer. Go snort some cocaine off a hooker's butt.
I guess you got dreams.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with dreaming. Anyways. All right, Friggle Biscuit. Now we're getting into the cool names. People with actual online names. What's no? What got you into Mopars? What got me into Mopars? My dad. And Dad got me into Mopars and introduced me all to my Mopar buddies. What got you into Mopars, old man?
Well, let's see. Wrecked my my first car was a Volkswagen. Had a lot of fun in that old bug. Teacher in the high school parking lot backed into me and T-boned me, and I had this insurance money, and it happened to be a '69 Charger in the paper, not on anything online. It was in the paper for $900. So me and my mom went and looked at it, and we went and I bought it, and then all of a sudden, this is a pretty fast car, and I was always been kind of mechanically inclined, working on it, and I always think that it probably belonged to a Vietnam vet that didn't make it home, and I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, there was many a race here in my high school years, and never was defeated. I mean, it became a kind of a legend. Some of them races, I'd have a following, 10, 20 cars following just because they knew there was a race going down. That was pretty good. Just a lot of good memories from back then. So yeah, Mopar kind of engraved into me right there, and been helping to bring the name or use the name, continue the product all my whole life. That's about the size of that.
Yeah.
That's what got me into Mopar.
Your car.
My car.
You could have just said my car.
Could just said my car.
But that was a cool story. That's going to work well into our next question from TTV. What's your first car?
65 Volkswagen, pulled it home from Kansas City. Dad got a new motor put in it, and I drove the hell out of it.
My first car was 1977 Plymouth Arrow GT200.
Oh yeah.
That was a fun little car. Before I knew anything about cars, I was back in like 2008 when we bought that. And I used to drive that thing everywhere. One of the last pictures I have from my Arrow. I wish I still had it because I'd be putting an engine like that in there. That'd been fun. I actually traded that car for my first Moto Guzzi motorcycle, which is still sitting over there. And kind of trade a car for that, but that car was, the engine, transmission was completely shattered. And yeah, whatever. Car that you're ashamed to admit you've owned. I don't have one really. I've owned a lot of GMs, I've owned a lot of Mopars. There's not really one in there I'd say
Oh.
I'm not ashamed of.
There was a time when I was down to just a '59 Ford flatbed 1 ton. That's when I met your mom. It was a 1 ton with no exhaust, 4 speeds, old farm truck.
But were you ashamed of it?
It wasn't nothing to brag about. I was driving over the roads. I was only home on weekends. So I jumped in my old flatbed and here we go.
Huh.
But I wouldn't brag about it, no.
Yeah, okay. What about your dream car?
Dream car?
Yeah.
Well, it's sitting out the front.
That 68 Charger?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
check out that video.
Hemi car.
There's a whole build of it right here on YouTube. Go check out that whole build. Then come back. What's my dream car?
Oh, what is it?
Well, Dad and I were thinking about that the other day. You know, of all the cars in the world, it had to be between a 66 Oldsmobile Tornado, which I have owned. Just the perfect car. Plenty of horsepower, plenty of torque, luxury, just a beautiful cruiser. That or a 68 Barracuda super stock Hemi car. They don't get much different. Plush, luxury, pimp, you know, electric everything, air conditioning to 1 seat, 600 horsepower Hemi, and a car that weighs 2,800 pounds. Actually, it weighed way less than that because it's a race car.
Yeah, that sounds real practical.
Sounds perfectly practical to me.
Grocery getter.
Yeah. Open headers.
Yeah.
All right. He asked us a lot of questions, so. All right. Hobbies besides cars. Engines.
That's cars, ain't
Is it?
it? I think that's part of cars.
Welding.
Loading?
Metal fabrication. Head porting. Model cars. Casting things in resin. YouTube. Buying and selling. Collecting car parts. What about you, Dad?
I like my motorcycle.
Yeah,
Whenever I get a chance to ride it.
Motorcycles.
Working on your stuff. I guess that's a hobby.
Working on your
That's
stuff.
cars. Yeah, working on my stuff when I'm done with your stuff. I like my boat. I do like my boat, but I didn't get it out all last year, so that tells you. I got a 74 with a 455 jet boat.
74 glass trolling.
Glass trawl, yeah.
Okay, we got to think about something that's nothing like automotive related.
It's not automotive related.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
We'll get back to you on that one.
I got black powder pistol and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I like to shoot, but like there again, you never get time.
I bought you that pistol.
Yeah.
1950s Italian reproduction of an 1800 black powder
44.
44 caliber. That thing's
Like
fun.
wide earth pad.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty cool pistol.
We're gonna skip the favorite chips, sodas, and food because that's it's. I guess our favorite drink is tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're drinking our tea right now, but he wants to know. We're gonna go ahead and skip to his last question because we got a bunch of these still to go through. Any funny stories from you, Dad?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Any funny stories?
Funny stories about what?
I guess I'll go ahead and give you one. You tell a story about you racing that Camaro in your Charger.
Oh. Yeah, that's probably the one time that was the time I was probably going to get my ass handed to me. It was a 67 Camaro. It was pretty radical. And that was one of them deals where all my buddies and all my following was kind of following me, and it was funny. I even pulled in the parking lot and did figure eights around the light poles, and the whole string of cars that were following us just kept doing them figure eights. And then we finally made it out to the place where we were going to race, and we got lined up, and no kid blew his drive shaft, so I've got a technical, I guess, on that one. But that was about as funny a story as I could get, probably.
We don't have a whole lot.
No, I mean,
I've got some sad stories I could tell about guys scamming people out of engines and stuff, but I can't think of anything at the moment.
yeah. I mean, there are a lot of stories back in my school days and stuff.
Yeah.
Delivering pizza in a V8 Vega.
That'd be cool. That's a car we're gonna build someday, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's a Vega. It's got to be a 70-71 split bumper style.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have split bumper Vegas, but you make them like
It
that.
was 71. Yeah, it wasn't split bumper. I was always wanting to cut that bumper.
Yeah.
Had a 350 out of a Corvette in it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good little car.
That'd been fun.
For delivering pizzas.
Yeah. V8 Vega, 68 Hemi Super Stock Bear. Could you imagine that bringing you pizza?
Yeah.
That'd be something. All right, we're going to move on here. Riley A. Would you be willing to Hemi swap a Pacer or Gremlin just for shits and giggles? That even a question?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Is that even a question? I mean, duh.
If we can find a Gremlin, Gremlin would be cool. Pacer would be cool. I never was real fond of them. They're too wide, but I like a Gremlin.
What about a Hemi and a Vega?
I'm sure it's been done.
Oh, Roadkill's building a Hemi Grimmy. They just can't get a Hemi block. I emailed him. I said, I know where some Hemi blocks are.
Yeah?
Never got an email back. I guess they don't really care.
Well, they'll wait till some sponsor gives it to them for free.
Yeah, probably. No offense to Roadkill, but anyways. All right, so Ronnie Lother, get well, Jed. Thank you. And as for the question, for your dad, ask him how many races he won with his high school car back in the day.
It'd be easier to say how many I lost, because I don't remember losing any. Tell you that is the God's honest truth.
Oh, we're in a small town. How many fast cars could really be in?
There was a lot of fast cars in 1979, 1978.
True.
The Foster brothers lived here, but I never had to race them.
Thank God.
You know, there was probably a lot of cars that would have whipped me. I just never lined up against them.
That's true. Pick your fights.
Maybe it was strategic.
Well, I could race that 63 Corvette with big block and tri-power.
Well, what do you have? Old Foster had a Roadrunner.
Fred Foster had the 69 or 70 GTO Judd, supposedly Ram Air 4. It got creamed. Also had the 68 or 9. It was a 69 Sport Satellite that was swapped in 446 pack. And then in their barn, supposedly belonged to the youngest brother, was a 70 Hemi Cuda. Unfortunately, Fred passed away a couple years ago. Jim passed away this year. And all those cars are gone. They were right here in town, and I tracked down the family member who got them, and he'd already sold them. Like, crazy cheap from what I understand.
Yeah.
Was a real Cuda. Wasn't a Hemi Cuda, though. It just had a badge on it. Guy I talked to, it was like a 383 Cuda, but it was still 70 or 71. I can't remember.
I never got to see it.
I only got to see the silhouette of it. They didn't show anybody that car. Obviously, if you had a car like that, you wouldn't show it to anybody.
A lot of Mustang and Camaro doors laying across Main Street of Ottawa, Kansas.
True. We got kind of sidetracked on that one. Well, I hope that answers it. Wesley Ron, or Ronnie, it's Ronne, pointed out to me. Will we see any more of your brother's truck? Well, of course. Right there's his engine, which won't, it's like a permanent resident of our stand. You see, we had to build a whole new stand for my baby Hemi. Yes, you're going to see more of it, because eventually he's got to swap that engine in there.
Yep.
So don't worry.
He's been talking about it.
You'll probably see it in the next few years, because well, my brother ain't got a whole lot of money to play with, even though the engine's right there ready to rock and roll and fire up right now for you.
He got sucked into the child support deal. So
Yep.
all his money goes away pretty quick.
Yeah, so we see Alyssa's like,
9.
yeah, he's screwed. Yeah, give it 10 years, and then you'll see his truck back on the channel. All right. Corey Crescent. Man, you're still sick. I know. Tell me about it. I told Chris it wasn't nice to bring them Vegas germs up to you. Maybe that's who got me.
That might have been. It happened about then.
Chris, if you're watching this, you're a sack of shit.
He might have brought him down from Dakota, though.
North Dakota, he probably did. I bet you he was sick. Wow, dude, you sabotaged me.
Well, sleeping in his car in
In the
the
yeah.
freezing weather.
Wow, Chris. Of course, I can see my own breath in here. It's gotten cold in the garage. We had the space heater running. Anyways, are you building a maxi? No. I don't have a max wedge. I wish I did. I think that's what he means by maxi. That's what most people call it. I wish I had a max wedge. I got some heads that max wedge port, and I got a ton of max wedge. Maybe we should build a max wedge. I don't know. And what you putting it into? I don't have one. That belongs in the yard dart. I know. You got the 273 Maxi.
Maxi.
No, I mean, I got the Hemi over there we're building for under $3,000, which we're way under budget. We have the 273, we have the baby Hemi. We have that 440 with Hemi stuff on it. We have that 3-3 block, we have the 400 block.
Nailheads.
Nailhead. Michael's engine. No, no Max Wedge here. At least I think that's what you mean. Sorry, Corey. Baneless. Advice on your first time engine building / getting an old car drivable. And cheap old cars to get started with. So let's start with advice on first time engine building. Keep track of everything you take apart, because you might find that you don't have the money to buy brand new bolts, and there is nothing wrong with reusing head bolts, main cap bolts, all that stuff.
Take a picture of it before you even start, because them brackets and putting the pulleys on the front and getting everything back like it was to where it's actually usable is a real pain. If you just got a pile of brackets laying there and they seem to go away pretty easy. Pulleys, same way, getting the belts to line up.
Yeah.
Just take a picture of it. It helps a lot.
And definitely when you're taking the engine apart, you can go through and watch my videos. Always number everything. When you take a piston out, number the bottom of the rod cap 1 through 8. Always a good idea. Because you don't want to put number 8 piston and number 1 bore. Just every piston and bore, they wear differently. So, unless you're going to bore it, then, you know. But you want to keep the rod to the crank journal. Basically, common sense to me, really, is the main thing.
Find a good machine shop. Have them check your block. Boil your block. Have them check your block. And,
check your crank.
Yeah, your rods, and make sure the rods are round. You know, it might even be worth paying them to just go build the short block.
Yeah, the short block, I mean, you can build it yourself, but it depends on what you want with it. If you want big horsepower, it's best just, if it's your first time, get some advice. Find someone who can actually show you. One thing I will say, don't get skimpy with the engine assembly lube.
Yeah. Yeah, breaking in a cam, same deal. Watch a lot of YouTube on that, because you can ruin a cam pretty quick in the first 15 minutes.
Yep. Getting an old car drivable. I would say, or do you want to say?
New gas tank. Start off right off the bat. New gas tank. Don't even mess around.
Okay, well, let's pretend like you can't get a new gas tank.
Well, they got some stuff you can coat them with.
No. We're just gonna, first thing with getting an old car driving, I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
Gas jug.
Oh, gas jug.
Just that way, you know, if it's a car you're kind of on the fence with buying, you just want to hear it run, gas jug, hook it to the fuel pump, make sure the fuel pump works. Put a couple fuel filters in line to the carburetor.
Yeah.
Check your points. If you got points, clean them up with a little piece of sandpaper. Or if you got electronic ignition, well, you're on your own. If you've got electronic ignition, if you got spark, awesome. If you don't, throw that crap away and put a points distributor in there. That's all I can say. And of course, you know, check for spark, check for compression. Because you need fuel, you need spark, and you need compression to fire an engine.
If you got an old car just sitting there staring at you in the face, gas tank, brakes, get it safe first. You can always work on that motor, get the motor running, but you got to be able to stop just as easy as you got to go fast.
But nothing gets you more motivated than hearing that engine fire up.
Well, that's true.
And hearing all 8 cylinders firing, unless you know it's a V6 or 4-cylinder.
Mm.
The less cylinders, the less cool it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long old road on an old car.
He also says, and cheap old cars you get started with. I'd say whatever you're into, man. We're into Mopars. Mopars are notorious for being expensive, but they're only expensive if you are impatient and want them to be.
Try not to get one that's been took apart.
Yeah, try to find a virgin car, something that ain't been mangled with.
If it's got all the windows in it that roll up and down, that's a big plus.
If it's got the interior in it.
And the dash.
And
I mean, it may not work, and it may be ugly, but it's there.
Yeah, try and find a car that's as complete and unmolested as possible. That's a huge plus, because then you ain't got like the Yard Dart or Jezebel or Dad's Charger or my Satellite. I mean, my Satellite's a good example, perfect example. That car's all together, but someone put it together, and we've been chasing wires tied together and
Oh God.
a Bondo by the gallon in the body, and yeah, try and find a one owner, maybe two owner car, something like that. My personal opinion. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna save that question for last. Daisy Duke 71 Plymouth asks, my question to you and your dad is, what is the car that you want more than any other? Oh, and Happy New Year, bro. Oh, we kind of already addressed that one. I should pay more attention. What car do you want more than anything else?
I got this vision of Daisy Duke in my mind. I'm trying to get back to her car. I remember Daisy Duke and her satellite. I don't know about you.
I never watched Dukes of Hazzard. I know she had a 71 and she had a 73 Roadrunner and a Jeep. Her 73 Roadrunner didn't last very long, but I liked it way more.
Yeah. Was that a Roadrunner? Oh, it was just satellite.
It was a Roadrunner. The 73 had the stripes and everything and the hood.
And what was the question? Trying to get away from Daisy Duke.
Yeah, we're just going to bypass it. Useful Entertainment, my buddy Marty. Go check out his channel. What's your favorite comedian besides Ron White? My dad. I don't know.
Ron White's pretty good.
It's hard to beat Ron White. I was taking Dad.
John Belushi?
Oh, I guess we're not just talking about stand-up comedians. I don't know.
Dan Aykroyd, I like those Saturday Night Live bunch.
I do too. So basically, yeah, anything like that. All right, Dad. Joe W. also asks, will you still be rebuilding motors on film as your channel grows and have all different Mopar motors on stands all around your garage like hunters do on the walls? Yeah, that's the freaking dream, man. Have a way bigger garage and just have a wall of engines. And, you're having a bad day, you just go out there and fire it up and you're like, woo! Yeah. That 426 Hemi, all that thing's going to be is an alarm clock. For the neighborhood. Maybe for the town. It depends. That's the dream.
Right.
I love engines. Not everybody shares my dream of just working on engines and enjoying them. Not every engine has to have a car. I just like to tinker with engines. I like mechanical things. And how many cars you think you will have by that time? Well, honest to God, me personally, I never wanted more than 3. I try to keep it at 3 cars maximum because when you get over 3, or even at 3, it's hard to... you get one broke down, you got to go fix it, or you get all 3 broke down, and then vice versa, and you're just strung out. Me personally, I would like to only have 1 or 2 cars. I have 4 right now.
I'm going to put a for sale sign up.
Can't sell any of them. I couldn't sell my Javelin because I can't see anybody else enjoying and preserving that car. I'm the second owner of my Javelin. I want to keep that.
Yeah.
My Satellite, I've had it too long, even though it's a pile of crap in terms of the body. Jezebel, if I ever sold that car, I'm going to be stripping the body perfectly clean, and there'll be no trace of Jezebel left in that car. Because ain't nobody owning my moniker. And
that's the trouble I have even getting started on the 49er, because if you get involved with one car, I don't know, I kind of like to finish one project before I start another. So old 49 GMC just sits out back because there's always something to do to the old Charger. One of these days I'll get started on her.
No, the question was actually cut in half.
All right.
How many cars do you think you'll have in your possession by your 30? Well, that's only pretty much by the next month. I'll be 26, so I have 4 years. Hopefully, wow. Oh, give me a moment. I'll be 30 living with Dad probably still.
That's crazy.
But I'm okay with that. Kinda. As long as Dad and I still keep getting along, what do you think, Dad? I just live with you until the day you die, then I'll just stay living here?
I see rent coming.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Rent.
My hopes for cars by the time I'm 30, hopefully back down to 3, to answer that question. What about you, Dad? How many cars do you want to have by the time you're 30?
I'm 30? Yeah. I think I already passed that point. I'm fine with my Charger and my 49er, and then my get back and forth to work, my pickup.
Yeah. Okay. And Joe wants to also know, will you be doing a video on your dad's pickup that has been sitting, waiting so jealously, patiently for the same build as the other projects? Just wondering, brother. You can answer that.
We should have videoed that when we remember we had it in here stripped down to the bare frame.
We have pictures.
When we put the 420, the nail head in and the stuff, we had it all down to bare frame.
I got videos when we fired it up the first time.
We had the cab, put the cab on it.
What about the first drive? That should have been a video.
Yeah.
It was sitting right where Dad's Charger was, I shit you not. And we were just going to push it back to the rock patio. And, fuck, why don't we just drive it? So I've got a piece of wire on the carburetor, a pair of vice grips on the shifting linkage of the transmission.
Don't have a shifter, don't have a foot feed or accelerator, don't have brakes.
So you're sitting there, one hand on the throttle and shifting the transmission and steering and no brakes, no nothing.
But it moved on its own power.
It did move on its own power. And Dad was shouting, "Get on it!" And you don't really realize how much you care for brakes until you're in a
You don't have them.
Yeah, until you're in a 49 GMC with manual steering and the steering wheel's coming off on you. And you're hurtling at the neighbor's yard and his tree, and you slam the thing in park and the transmission, it just keeps going.
Flying by the seat of your pants.
It was a little spooky. It was a little spooky.
I was glad to see it move on its own power.
I couldn't see it. I was in the death trap. Dad's sitting there, "Get on it, do a donut," and you blimp the throttle and the damn thing comes to life and really starts to move. You get a little spooked out.
Got the little shotgun headers on it.
Yeah. It's got tri-Y headers on that nail head, which is good.
Yeah.
That pretty much wraps up our
We need to
questions.
go out there and start it.
We do need to go do a video on it. That'd be a good first start video. Because that thing ain't been running forever.
Yeah, but it's asleep. It's sleeping.
We'll have to go start it.
It's sleeping.
I tell you what, guys. Stay tuned for that video. What do you think, Dan?
It's sleeping.
It's sleeping. Are you happy you came out and did the Q&A video?
Yeah, you went through all them already?
Yeah, we've been through them, but I guarantee you this video is going to be pretty long.
All right.
I mean, I don't even know what the camera says. I can't read that far. Anyways, guys, there's your Q&A video. Happy or merry belated Christmas, late Christmas. Hope
Happy
y'all.
New Year.
Yeah, it's the 30th. So we'll probably have this video out on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A. If you got any more questions, maybe do these maybe once every couple of months. We hand-picking questions. The channel keeps growing because we're almost at 2,800 subscribers. 3 weeks ago the channel was at 1,800, and the channel's just like, so it's growing. That's pretty good for what YouTube pays. I mean, they don't pay great, but every little bit of money helps go towards builds like this and stuff.
Right.
It's money out of our pockets.
We don't have a lot of money, so sometimes we have to skip a few corners.
Yeah, I mean, it's like stuff like that TIG welder I bought. I had to really count the pennies, make sure I was going to be able to afford to buy that so I could still pay for my stroker engine. And everything in here, it's bought on a budget, People look in our garage and they see Hemi, engine, engine, transmission, all this stuff. Well, this stuff didn't happen overnight. And whatnot. They see your car. Oh, these people are loaded with money. That was a pretty good chunk of debt.
Yeah, loaded with debt on that one.
But get busy living or get busy dying, as Shawshank Redemption says.
Yeah, I told myself, buy a new pickup. That'd be $500-600 a month, or I could build this Charger and take a loan out $500 or $600 a month. What do you want? What are you gonna end up with?
Yeah.
No pickup, it ain't worth crap after about 10 years. That old Charger, just think what it'll be worth in 10 years.
It's got a real Hemi in it.
Mm-hmm.
If we ever get it to act right. It's acting pretty good right now.
Yeah. So there you are.
Yeah. Anything else, Dan?
Is what it is.
I guess you get to close it out for everybody.
I don't know how to close it out. Like, subscribe, all that. Is that what you want me to say?
Yeah.
And all that jazz.
Well,
It's kind of cool.
I guess you just get to repeat after me.
All right.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Please leave a like.
Please like. Leave a like.
Please like the video.
Please like the video.
Drop a comment down below.
Yeah, drop a comment.
And if you so well please, subscribe to the channel and support us.
Yeah, that.
Dad. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, thank you.
You gotta say bye.
Bye-bye.
There you go.
Bye-bye.